साद्वैतं सावधूतं परिजन सहितं श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य देवं श्री राधा कृष्ण पादान सहगण ललिता श्री विशाखान्वितांश्च। हे कृष्ण करुणा सिंधो दीनबंधो जगत्पते गोपेश गोपिका कांत राधा कांत नमोस्तुते। तप्त कांचन गौरांगी राधे वृंदावनेश्वरी वृषभानुसुते देवी प्रणमामि हरिप्रिये। नमो महावदन्याय कृष्ण प्रेम प्रदायते कृष्णया कृष्ण चैतन्य नाम्ने गौरात्तुसे नमः। वाञ्छाकल्पतरुभ्यश्च कृपा सिन्धुभ्य एव च पतितानां पावनेभ्यो वैष्णवेभ्यो नमो नमः। नमो विष्णुपादाय कृष्णप्रस्थाय भूतले श्रीमते भक्तिवेदांत स्वामिनिति नामिने। नमस्ते सारस्वते देवे गौरवाणी प्रचारिणे निर्विशेषा शून्यवादी पाश्चात्य देशतारिणे। जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर श्रीवासादि गौर भक्तवृंद। हरे कृष्णा 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे हरे. So now we'll begin Bhagwatam class. Please repeat after me. You can unmute yourself now. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. You can unmute yourself and repeat after me. Nihal or Chetan, can you unmute yourself? You cannot unmute yourself?
Silence.
Yes.
Okay. Nihal, you can also unmute. And
Yes.
okay, please repeat after me. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya.
Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya.
Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya.
Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya.
Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya.
Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya.
Narayanam Namaskritya Naram Chaiva Narottamam Devim Saraswatim Vyasam
Devim Saraswatim Vyasam
Tato Jayam Udhirayet
Mato Jayam Udiraye
Nastapraye Swabhadresu
Tasyapraye Svabhadrastu
Nityam Bhagavata Sevaya
Nityam Bhagavata Sevaya.
Devaya
Bhagavati Uttama Sloke
Mati
Bhagavati Uttama Shloke.
Bhaktir Bhavati Naistiki.
Bhaktir Bhavati Neshtiti.
1 second. See. So we have a new student here, Jyotsna. Yes. Please unmute yourself. Also keep your camera on. Hare Krishna. Jyotsna, and yes, you are okay. Yes, where are you? And Sritam. Okay. So last week we began chapter 7 of Shrimad Bhagwatam, Canto 1. The title is Son of Drona Punished. Anybody know who is son of Drona is? Dronacharya is from Mahabharata. If you have heard Mahabharata. Yeah? Lakshmi, do you know? Sritan? Who is son of Drona?
Drupada?
No, Aswatama. Aswatama. So we'll know about him today, how he was punished. But last Tuesday, we discussed 11 verses in which it is described that how Srila Vyasadeva has compiled Srimad Bhagwatam and taught to his son Srila Shukdev Goswami. So today we'll be beginning from text 12 and move onwards up to 34, in which we will know about that Sutta Goswami is narrating a story after the Kurukshetra War. What happened after Kurukshetra War, and is taking up to the description of King Parikshit, who is Rajarshi, his birth, activity, and so and so. But the background is the we're gonna learn today. Okay. So before we begin, I will share the screen with you. We're gonna read the Srila Prabhupada's translation on those verses, and you all help me to read one text translation one by one, each one of you, okay? So I'm gonna share the screen. So we are on chapter 7, the son of Drona punished, and we'll begin from text 12 today. Here it is. So one by one, let's say, let me write down the name who we have. I think voluntarily you have to take turn, and let's say we start with Sritan, Lakshmi, yes, and then Nihal, yes. So okay, let's begin text 12. Sritan, can you read this?
Okay. Sutta Goswami thus addressed the Ursus headed by Sanaka. Now I shall now begin the transcendental narration of the Lord Sri Krishna, and topics of the birth, activities, and deliverance of King Parikshit, the sage amongst the kings, as well as topics of the renunciation of the worldly order by the sons of Pandu.
Very good. So we're gonna read all the translations of all the verse, so you get a complete picture of what we are covering today, and then I will discuss about it. Okay. So next verse 13 and 14, Lakshmi, can you read it? And please pay attention what you read. Everybody, please listen carefully also. Okay, go ahead.
Yeah, it's
Starting from here, text 13, 14.
When the respective warriors of both camps, namely the Kauravas and the Pandavas, were killed on the battlefield of Kurukshetra, and the dead warriors obtained their deserved destinations, and when the sons of Dhritarashtra fell down lamenting, his spine broken, being beaten by the club of Bhimasena, the son of Dronacharya, Aswatama, beheaded the 5 sleeping sons of Draupadi and delivered the heads as a prize to his master, foolishly thinking that he would be pleased. Duryodhana, however, disapproved of the heinous act, and he was not pleased in the least.
Very good. Next verse is 15. Yes, can you read it?
Draupadi, the mother of the 5 children of the Pandavas, after hearing of the massacre of her sons, began to cry in distress with eyes full of tears. Trying to pacify her in her great loss, Arjuna spoke to her thus.
Okay, next. Who is next?
Can
Please.
Jyotsna go next?
Who is this?
Jyotsna.
Jyotsna. Okay, go, Jyotsna, go ahead.
A gentle lady, then, when I present you with the head of that Brahmana, after beheading him with arrows from my Gandiva bow, I shall then wipe the tears from your eyes and pacify you. Then, after burning your sons' bodies, you can take your breath standing on his head.
Very good. Next. Who is next? Nihal, can you read it? Nihal, are you there? Nihal. Okay, who is there next? Please call out your name. Nihal, are you ready to read it? Text 17. Haribol.
Prabhuji,
Can I
can you
read?
read it again?
Yeah, who is this?
Jyotsna.
Okay, just now go ahead.
It's the 17th one.
Yeah.
Arjuna, who is guided by the infallible Lord as friend and driver, thus satisfied the dear lady by such statements. Then he dressed in armor and armed himself with furious weapons, and getting into his chariot, he set out to follow Aswatama, the son of his martial teacher.
Very good. Then Sritan. Sritan.
Okay, 18.
Yeah.
Okay, Ashwathama, the murderer of the princess, seeing from a great distance Arjuna coming at him with great speed, fled in his chariot, panic-stricken, just to save his life, as Brahma fled in fear from Shiva.
Very good. Next.
When the son of the Brahmana Ashwadhama saw that his horses were tired, he considered that there was no alternative for protection outside of his using the ultimate weapon, the Brahmastra, nuclear weapon. Since his life was in danger, he touched water in sanctity and concentrated upon the chanting of the hymns for throwing nuclear weapons, although he did not know how to withdraw such weapon.
Very good. Next person who want to read it? Jyotsna again.
Okay, the 21st.
Yeah.
Thereupon a glaring light spread in all directions, his own life in danger, and so he began to address Lord Sri Krishna.
Very good. Next. Nihal, you are not open to, you cannot unmute yourself, Nihal. Okay. So is there anybody?
Can I read?
Yeah, go ahead.
22.
Okay. Arjuna said, "O my Lord, Sri Krishna, you are the Almighty Personality of Godhead. There is no limit to your different energies. Therefore, only you are competent to instill fearlessness in the hearts of your devotees. Everyone in the flames of material miseries can find the path of liberation in you only. You are the original personality of Godhead who expands himself all over the creations and is transcendental to material energy. You have cast away that effects of the material energy by dint of your spiritual potency. You are always situated in eternal bliss and transcendental knowledge.
Continue.
And yet, okay.
And yet, though you are beyond the purview of the material energy. You execute the four principles of liberation characterized by religion and so on for the ultimate good of the conditioned souls. Thus, you descend as an incarnation to remove the burden of the world and to benefit your friends, especially those who are your exclusive devotees and are constantly wrapped in meditation upon you.
Okay. Next, who can read it? Jyotsna, can you read it again?
Yeah, I can, but it's text 26.
Yeah.
O Lord of Lords, how is it that his dangerous effulgence is spreading all around? Where does it come from? I do not understand it.
You can read the next one also.
Okay. The Supreme Personality of Godhead said, "Know from me that this is the act of the son of Drona. He has thrown the hymns of nuclear energy, Brahmastra, and he does not know how to retract that glare. He was helplessly done his being afraid of imminent death."
Okay. Next.
O Arjuna, only another Brahmastra can counteract this weapon. Since you are expert in the military science, subdue this weapon's glare with the power of your own weapon. Sri Sutta Goswami said, hearing this from the personality of Godhead, Arjuna touched water for purification, and after circumambulating Lord Sri Krishna, he cast his Brahmastra weapon to counteract the other one.
When the rays of the two Brahmastras combined, a great circle of fire like the disk of the sun covered all outer space and the whole firmament of planets. All the population of the three worlds was scorched by the combined heat of the weapons. Everyone was reminded of the Samvartaka fire, which takes place at the time of annihilation. Thus, seeing the disturbance of the general populace and the imminent destruction of the planets, Arjuna at once retracted both Brahmastra weapons as Lord Sri Krishna desired.
Arjuna,
Can I
his eyes.
Is yes there? Yes. Can you read this last? Yes.
Text 33.
Yeah.
Arjuna, his eyes blazing in anger.
Arjuna, his eyes blazing in anger like two red balls of copper, dexterously arrested the son of Gautami and bound him with ropes like an animal.
Okay, the last verse. Text 34. You all can read it. Yes, go ahead.
After binding Aswatama, Arjuna wanted to take him to the military camp. The personality of Godhead, Sri Krishna, looking on his lotus eyes, spoke to Arjuna in an angry mood.
Very good. So what he spoke in angry mood, we'll do it next time. Well, today we'll discuss about up to this point. Okay. So I will again take the screen off and please keep your camera on. So how many have you heard this episode or this kind of story from the Mahabharata? Anybody is familiar with it? Okay, yes. How many, can you raise your hand? How many of you have heard about this episode?
I haven't heard of it.
We haven't heard of it. Okay. Yes, you didn't hear about it either. Okay. Anyway, so what is this going on here is the Mahabharata history after the Kurukshetra War. So one time, Saunaka Muni, the leader of all the sages in Naimisaranya, was asking Sut Goswami about Parikshit Maharaj's birth and life, because the story would lead to the retelling of how Bhagwatam came to be spoken. So in the beginning, Sukadeva Goswami told to Parikshit Maharaj, but the second time it was spoken in Naimisaranya by Suta Goswami to sages in the Naimisaranya, and the Saunak Muni was the leader. So then, to answer that question, Suta Goswami now replying that, now I shall begin the transcendental narration of the Lord Sri Krishna and topics of birth, activities, and deliverance of King Parikshit, the sage among the king. Now, Parikshit was also considered to be Rajarshi, because he was the sage man, a saintly person among the king. And everybody knows that Parikshit is grandson of Pandavas, right? Okay. So then Suta Goswami further telling that now the real story that you have read in this Prabhupada's translation is coming, that at the end of the Kurukshetra War, Aswatama killed the 5 sleeping sons of Draupadi to please Duryodhan, who was lying with his thigh broken. So, however, Duryodhan displeased of the heinous act and was not at all pleased. So what had happened after the Kurukshetra War, when Bhim struck his gada, his mace, on the thigh of Duryodhan, he fell down. Almost all soldiers on Kaurava sides are died, and some of them on Pandava side also. But at that time, only Aswatthama, Krutavarma, and one other person, they were thinking how they can please their master Duryodhana. So they got an idea. One night, what happened? Sometimes the birds are there sleeping, and the hunter came, and with his net, he caught all of them. So sometimes, somehow, the Aswatthama got an inspiration. And what happened, because it is night time, everybody was sleeping. So Aswatthama took that opportunity and he went where Pandava was resting, the camp of the Pandavas. But he went to the place where the sons of Draupadi, 5 sons of Draupadi were sleeping. So at that time, he beheaded them. He cut the head and then brought all the heads to Duryodhana to show it to him that, oh, okay, now I have killed Pandavas. So Duryodhana will be pleased. But those heads were not of the Pandavas, but the Pandava's son. So Duryodhana was not very happy with this situation. So then when Draupadi knew that all her children were dead, cried in distress with tears in her eyes. So at that time, Arjuna spoke and pacified her. He says that after beheading that Brahmana, that Aswatthama, I will wipe your tears. Then after burning your son's body, you can take your bath standing on the Aswatthama's head. So this is like Draupadi was lamenting about her children. So Arjuna, being a husband of Draupadi, he pacified her and told her that, don't worry, I will kill that Brahman, bring his head to you. So after burning the bodies of your sons, you can stand on that head and then take a bath. So it is like, this is like a Kshatriya mood. The Kshatriya means the Brahman, Kshatriya, Vaishya, Sudra. So the Kshatriya's nature is exhibited here in that sense. Okay. So it is mentioned here that we can see that transcendental topics of the activities of Lord Sri Krishna in Srimad Bhagwatam begin from the end of the battle of Kurukshetra, where the Lord himself spoke about himself. So Bhagavad Gita is spoken by Lord Krishna himself. So that is also Krishna Katha, because those are the words of Lord Krishna. And then Srimad Bhagavatam is spoken about Lord Krishna. Okay, so he's dealing his pastime with his devotees. So that is also Krishna Katha. So that is what is emphasized here, that both are Krishna Katha. So since it is Chaitanya Mahaprabhu also wanted that everyone should hear this Krishna Katha, this Amala Purana, because by hearing Katha, one can get salvation, one can get a love of God in his heart. So Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu desired that all who are born in India seriously understand such Krishna Katha, and then after full realization, preach the transcendental message to everyone in all parts of the world, which will bring peace and prosperity. So that was Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's preaching when he came to this earth about 500 years ago. Now, let us see, after pacifying Draupadi, his wife, Arjuna dressed himself in armor and armed himself with his Gandiv, bow, all the weapons, and guided by Krishna in his chariot, as a charioteer, he set out, and he was, because Aswatama did this heinous act, so he was trying to capture Aswatama. So he went behind him. Now Aswatama, seeing from a great distance that Arjuna is coming at him with great speed, fled in his chariot just to save his life. So Aswatthama also mounted on his chariot and then was going at a speed, such a speed that it is described in the Srimad Bhagwatam. The example is given that he fled in his chariot, panic-stricken, just to save his life, as Brahma fled to fear from Shiva. So this is a story that I will tell you why Brahma fled, from Lord Shiva. Why Lord Shiva ran after Lord Brahma. So, because in the verse, the word is used kaha. Kaha means Brahma, and kaha means or kaha means son also. So both the story I will describe in brief. So kaha, Brahma, one time he was allured by his daughter, and then he was running behind her. So Lord Shiva did not like it. So he ran after Lord Brahma. So that speed Aswatthama is going on. That is what he's trying to tell. And one time what happened, there was a demon called Vidyun Mali, demon. And he was given a glowing golden airplane. And he was going behind sun. So normally when sun set, it is night. But because of that golden effulgence plane, there is no night, because there's always like day time thing. So that's why Lord Shiva was very unhappy, and he fled, or he went after this sun god. And what he did, that the sun god destroyed the plane. It is said that when he became angry, the Lord Shiva then attacked sun god, because sun god tried to burn this chariot, and the chariot was given by the demigod. So Lord Shiva was angry, and he was running after that sun god also. So these are the two examples given there for that. Then when Aswatthama saw he was running ahead, Arjun was going behind him on a chariot. But at one point, what happened? The Aswatthama's horses were tired. Okay. So when Aswatthama saw that his horses were tired, he considered there was no alternate for protection except using the ultimate weapon that is called Brahmastra. Okay. So which is called nuclear weapon in our modern term. But Brahmastra and nuclear weapon, there is a difference. Nuclear weapon is like a gross, and Brahmastra is subtle, because Brahmastra works with hymns. When they say specific mantra, then the Brahmastra will be released like that. So what he did is he touched water in purification and concentrated upon chanting of the hymn for throwing nuclear weapon, although he did not know how to withdraw such weapon. See, to save his life, Aswatthama released Brahmastra, but he doesn't know how to retract back. So now when the effulgence was there, so actually when Aswatthama threw the Brahmastra, a glaring light spread in all directions. And it was so dangerous that Arjuna thought his own life in danger. So he began to address Lord Sri Krishna. And so Arjuna prayed to Lord Krishna. And what he says that we will recite that verse also at the end of the class. But he said, Krishna Krishna Mahabaho Bhakta Nam Abhiyankara Tvam Eko Dahyamana Nam Apavargo Asi Samsrute. So Arjuna says, oh my dear Lord Krishna, you are the Supreme Personality of Godhead. You are all powerful, omnipotent. There is no limit to your different energy. Therefore, only you can protect your devotee. Arjuna was aware of the transcendental qualities of the Lord Sri Krishna. Why? Because he had experienced it during the Mahabharata War. That Krishna's potency, how Krishna can save him. So then Arjuna says that you are always situated in eternal bliss and transcendental knowledge. You descend as an incarnation to remove the burden of the world and to benefit your devotees and friends, especially those who are your exclusive devotees. Engage in your remembrance always. So now, after praying, he's asking questions to Krishna. What is he saying? Oh, my Lord, how is it that this dangerous effulgence is spreading all around? Where does it come from? And that I do not know. Please help me. So here Arjuna shows the way of approaching Lord or the higher authority. You have to pray first and then ask the question. In Bhagavad Gita also it says Tad Vidhi Pranipat Pariprasnan Sevya. Means you have to offer your prayer, pranam mantra, and then ask questions. Nice way of saying it. So Arjuna setting up an example for how to approach the Supreme Personality of Godhead, Krishna. First of all, he prayed, means he glorified Krishna's qualities, then presented the request for knowing why and what is happening, where is this danger is coming from, like that. So then Lord Krishna responded that this is the act of son of Drona. Son of Drona is Aswatthama. Means this is the action of Aswatthama. He has thrown a Brahmastra, nuclear weapon, and he does not know how to retract it. Because he was helpless, he doesn't have anything. So this is his last resort that he used. But now, regarding Brahmastra, it is said here that is similar to modern world nuclear weapon. But the difference is that atomic bomb is a gross type of nuclear weapon, whereas the Brahmastra is subtle type of weapon produced by chanting the mantra. It is a different science, and formerly such science was cultivated in the land of Bharatvarsha. An expert chanter of mantra knew how to apply the weapon as well as how to retract it. But the son of Dronacharya, who made use of this subtle science, did not know how to retract it. Therefore, Lord Krishna is telling Arjuna that only another Brahmastra can counteract this weapon. Since you are expert in military science, subdue this weapon glare with the power of your own weapon. So then hearing this instruction from Krishna, Arjuna touched the water for purification, and after circumambulating Lord Sri Krishna, he cast his Brahmastra weapon to counteract the Aswatthama's weapon. So basically, Arjuna followed Krishna's instruction. And when the rays of the two Brahmastra combined, a great circle of fire, like the disk of the sun, covered all outer space and all planets. The heat created by Brahmastra was similar to the fire exhibited in the sun globe at the time of cosmic annihilation. The atomic bomb explosion can at most blow up only one planet, but the heat produced by Brahmastra can destroy the whole cosmic creation. So all the population of the three world means 14 planets, upper, lower, and middle. Middle is the earth, upper is all heavenly planets, Swargaloka, like Janaloka, Tapaloka, Brahmaloka, and Nisha, Atal, Tat, Vital, all these below the earth, there are all planets, lower planets. So it was scorched by the combined heat of the weapon. Everyone was reminded of the Samvartak fire, which takes place at the time of annihilation. So thus, seeing the disturbance of the general populace and the imminent destruction of the planet, and following the instruction of Krishna, Arjuna at once retracted both of them. Means Aswatthama as well as his Brahmastra. He got it back because he know how to take it back. That way, Arjuna fulfilled the desire for Krishna to save the whole cosmic creation. Now, Arjuna was, after that, what happened? Arjuna was appearing very angry. Last verses that we read, his eyes blazing like two red balls of copper. And he arrested and bound Aswatthama like an animal. So Aswatthama was a bona fide son of a Brahmana, but he acted like non-Brahmana, and that was why he was bound. But after binding Aswatthama, Arjuna wanted to take him to the military camp, but Krishna looking on with his lotus eye, and in his angry mood, Krishna is telling to Arjuna, which we will do next week, that part. But I wanted to mention here that there was a difference between Arjuna's anger and Lord Krishna's anger. Arjuna's anger, his eyes became like red hot ball like that. But Krishna's eyes were lotus-like eyes, very soothing. Why it is so? So it is explained that by the Acharya, our predecessor Acharya, both Arjuna and Lord Krishna are described here in an angry mood, but Arjuna's eyes were like balls of red copper, whereas eyes of the Lord Krishna were like lotuses. This means that the angry mood of Arjuna and that of Lord are not on the same level. Krishna's anger is not like the anger of conditioned living being. Because he is absolute, his anger and pleasure are the same. And that is everything in absolute world is Same anger and pleasure, there is no difference. So his anger is not exhibited in the three modes of material nature, which is goodness, passion, and anger. Therefore, even if he is angry, the object of anger is blessed. So that is the difference between the angry mood of Arjuna and the angry mood of Krishna. So now we have some time to recite the verse, and then at the end we will take the question. Okay, so I'll bring the screen back again and we will recite one verse for the practice. So that verse would be okay. Everybody can see this verse? Okay, so you all recite after me, okay? Because this is the verse for our memorization exercise. So please recite after me. Arjuna uvacha
Arjuna uvacha
Krishna Krishna Mahabaho
Krishna Krishna Mahabaho
Krishna Krishna Mahabaho
Krishna
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 Mahabaho
Mahabaho
Bhaktanam Abhayankara
Bhaktanam
Bhaktanam
Abhayankara
Abhayankara
Bhaktanam Abhayankara
Bhaktanam
Bhaktanam
Abhayankara
Abhayankara
Tvam eko dahyamanana
Eko dahyamamana
Tam eko dahyamanana
Tvam eko
Ameko
dahyamanana
Dahyamananan
Apavargosi samsrutehe
Apavargosi
Apavargosi
samsrite
Samsrite
Apavargosi samsrutehe
Apavargosi samsritehe
Apavargosi Samsrite
One more time. Arjuna uvacha
Arjuna uvacha
Arjuna Vacha
Krishna Krishna Mahabaho
Krishna
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 Mahabaho
Mahabaho
Bhaktanam Abhayankara
Bhaktanam
Bhaktanam
Abhayankara
Abhayankara
Tvam eko dahyamananam
Tvam eko
Tvameko
dahyamanana
Dahyamananam
Apavargosi samsrutehe
Apavargosi
Apavargosi
samsritehe
Samsrite
Any of you would like to recite?
I do.
Jyotsna?
Okay, go ahead.
Jyotsna?
Yeah, Josna, go ahead.
Oh, okay. Arjuna uvacha Krishna Krishna Mahabaho Bhaktanam Abhayankara Tvam eko dahyamananam Apavargosi samsritehe.
Very good. Next, yes, would you like to do it?
Yes, Shri.
Okay, me.
Yeah. Yes.
Arjuna Uvacha Krishna Krishna Mahabaho Bhaktanam Avayankara Tvam Eka Dayamanam Apavargo Shisham Shrutehe.
Very good. Next, Lakshmi.
Arjuna uvacha Krishna Krishna Mahabhaho Bhaktanam Abhayankara Tvameko Dahyamananam Apavargosi Samsritehe.
Very good. Sritan. Sritan.
Arjuna Vacha Krishna Krishna Mahabaho Bhaktanam Abhayankara Tvameko Dahyamananam Apavargosi Samsrite.
Very good. Very good. Is Nihal? Nihal, would you? I didn't see Nihal is participating. I see his dog. I don't know, where is he? Nihal, can you hear us? Nihal? No. Okay. All right. So I want one of you to read the translation of this verse. Who can read it?
Jyotsna?
Okay, go ahead. Go
O
ahead.
my Lord Sri Krishna, you are the Almighty Personality of Godhead. There is no limit to your different energies. Therefore, only you are competent to instill fearlessness in the hearts of your devotees. Everyone in the flames of material miseries can find the path of liberation in you only.
Very good. Okay, so this is the verse for you to memorize. You can remember Canto 1, Chapter 7, text number 22. Your exercise. Okay. All right. So I'll stop sharing the screen now. And do you have any questions that from what you have heard? All right. We'll ask you questions. See. Anybody have any questions so far? Okay. So I'm gonna ask you questions.
I do, Prabhuji.
Yeah. Okay. Go ahead.
You said that Dhritarashtra was like angry that Aswatama brought the heads of the sons of the Pandavas. The Pandava sons were also on the opponent's side for Duryodhana, right? So why was he angry about that?
You mean Duryodhan, not Dhritarashtra,
Yeah,
right? Yeah.
yeah,
Yeah.
yes.
Duryodhan was angry because he brought the heads of not the Pandavas, but the sons of Pandavas. And after all, they both from Kuru Vamsa. And those Pandavas were like, to take the kingdom later on, right? So that is what he was uh, he did not like their act of Aswatthama to please them, because of so if he would have brought Pandava's head, then he would have been pleased. But because he killed the innocent, sleeping sons of Pandavas, that's why. Okay,
Okay, thank you, Prabhuji.
you're welcome. Anybody? What do you like about this story? Anybody can give their reflection? Okay, so I'm going to ask you questions and you can raise your hand if you know the answer. Okay, and we'll go just one by one. Okay, question number 1. Who did Aswatthama kill?
The sons of the Pandavas.
Yeah, just raise your hand. Okay, who is this? Yes, okay, go ahead. Yes.
The sons of the Pandavas.
Okay, how many there were? 5 sons of Pandavas. Draupadi or Pandava same. Okay, next question. Why did Aswatthama kill sons of Draupadi? Okay, Mehika?
Because he thought those were the Pandavas.
Why did Aswatthama kill sons of Draupadi?
Because he thought those were the Pandavas.
Okay, but then there is another reason for it. They were Pandava sons, that is one thing, but he wanted to please who?
Dhritarashtra.
No,
Duryodhan.
Duryodhan. Okay, very good. Question number 3. Was Duryodhan pleased? Yes or no? Was Duryodhan pleased?
Yes.
When Aswatthama brought the heads of those children of Draupadi, you say it is yes. Who say yes? Yes says no.
Yes.
Mika says no.
Yes.
Yeah. No. The correct answer is no. He was not pleased.
Oh.
Yeah. Okay. The question number 4. After satisfying Draupadi, what did Arjuna do? Remember, he pacified because Draupadi was crying, so Arjuna pacified her. And then after that, what did he do? Anybody can raise their hand? Lakshmi, do you know the answer? Or Srithan, do you know the answer? Who knows it? Nobody knows it. After satisfying Draupadi, Arjuna
He was
chased.
angry.
No, yeah, angry, but then he chased after Aswatthama, right? He armed himself, took his weapon, got a chariot, and under the charioteer was, who was charioteer? Lord Krishna. So he went after Aswatthama to catch him. Okay, question number 5. When Aswatthama's horse were tired, what did he do? See, Arjun was...
Release the Brahmastra.
Huh?
Release the Brahmastra.
Release the Brahmastra. Very good. Okay. Next is seeing glaring effulgence. What did Arjun do? When Aswatthama released the Brahmastra, seeing that glaring, what did Arjun do? Okay, yes.
He asked Krishna, and then Krishna told him to release another Brahmastra, and after that, Arjuna took back both of the Brahmastras.
Very good. So basically, in the beginning, he prayed to the Lord and then asked question, or he asked for protection of Krishna, and then Krishna. Okay. So what did Krishna tell to Arjuna?
They counteract the Brahmastra.
Counteract the Brahmastra. Okay, very good. So that means he ordered him to release his Brahmastra to counteract that one. Okay. Now, why it is so? Why he has to tell Arjuna to retract? Why cannot Aswatthama retract? Yes?
Ashwatthama cannot because he does not know how to.
How to? Very good. Very good. Very good. So, another question. What did Arjuna do following the instruction of Krishna?
Take his Brahmastra and release it. Release it to contract the Ashwatthama.
Very good. So he basically retracted the Brahmastra. Okay. Now, after retracting both Brahmastra, what did Arjuna do? Now, Brahmastra has been retracted. After that, what did Arjuna do with Aswatthama? Yes? Go ahead, yes.
He tied Ashwatthama into ropes like an animal.
Oh, wow. Okay, good, good, good. Okay, next one. This is for Srithan or Lakshmi, okay? After binding Aswatthama, what was the plan of Arjuna? Lakshmi or Srithan?
I don't know.
No? Okay. Anybody? What was the plan? After he bound Aswatthama, he got it. What was the next plan? Mihika?
I think it was take the gemstone off of his forehead.
Yeah, he wanted to take him to the camp, military camp where he wanted to take it, Aswatthama, to the camp where Draupadi and everyone was there, because he did not kill him, because he was the son of Brahmana. So all these things we will learn next week. What happened, how he was punished. Aswatthama was punished, So basically they are taking him to their camp to judge him, where everybody will be, all Pandavas will be there, Draupadi will be there, Krishna will be there, and see. So that nice episode we will learn next Tuesday. Okay, so be tuned and please join again to hear the rest of the story. You will know how Drona was punished. That is the title of the chapter, but it is happening at the end of the chapter. Okay, son of Drona punished. Okay, so thank you everyone. We'll see you next Tuesday. And
In next week, Ashwatthama will be killed in this war.
That we will find out next time what happened.
Okay.
How Aswatthama was punished is a mystery. So let us see what's coming. Stay tuned till next Tuesday.
Yeah. This is towards Aswadhama Ataha Kunjara.